for some more movie trivia. It's amazing what can be adapted into a film these days. You can get novels, comic books, pieces of art, board games, even action figures have got their own films. And an example of an action figure line that spawned its own franchise is Masters of the Universe. So here's the top 10 facts about Masters of the Universe. Number 10. Director Gary Goddard intended to have all of Dolph Lundgren's lines dubbed by another actor, as Lundgren himself had a thick Swedish accent, not yet fluent in English, and had very limited acting experience. Lundgren had stipulated in his contract for the film that he could have 3 attempts to try and get it right, but with the film already behind schedule, Goddard decided to use Lundgren's natural voice. Number 9. Anthony DeLongis, who played the character of Blade, trained Dolph Lundgren in the use of the sword. He also choreographed the fight between He-Man and Blade, as well as the climactic duel between He-Man and Skeletor. In fact, DeLongis played Skeletor in the final fight between He-Man and Skeletor. Number 8. When Blade engages He-Man in the aforementioned sword fight, Blade says, "I've been waiting a long time for this." In Blade's backstory, he lost his left eye in a fight with He-Man. Number 7. When the extra scene after the end credits, where Skeletor says, "I'll be back," was filmed, Frank Langella, wearing his skull mask, was placed into a tank filled with red water. And when Gary Goddard called action, Frank Langella would surface, look back at the camera, and give his line. Number 6. The character Gwildor was created to replace the popular Orko from He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Number 5. Frank Langella went on record in an interview saying that playing Skeletor was one of his favourite roles. His young son was a huge fan and would run around the house shouting, "By the power of Grayskull!" So he took the role for him. He wrote some of his own lines, including, "Tell me about the loneliness of good, He-Man. Is it equal to the loneliness of evil?" Number 4. A sequel to the film, which was to be titled Masters of the Universe 2 Cyborg, was written. It followed He-Man, who would return to Earth to battle Skeletor, who had left Earth as a post-apocalyptic wasteland. It had Albert Pyun hired to direct. When Masters of the Universe bombed at the box office, grossing just over $17 million in the United States against a $22 million budget, Mattel and Canon decided not to make the sequel, and Albert Pyun rewrote the script and it became Cyborg. Number 3. The original idea was to have the film set on Eternia and be much more faithful to He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. But since the first draft, it was set on Earth and it reduced the number of sets and strange characters they would need to create due to the limited budget. Number 2. The Snakemen She Robbed were in early drafts of Masters of the Universe. However, due to the film's limited budget, the Snakemen and She Robbed were cut out for budgetary reasons. Number 1. There were 3 possible alternate endings that were considered for Masters of the Universe. The first, which would have disregarded the end credit scene and the abandoned sequel, had Skeletor not survive his fall into the bottomless pit in Castle Grayskull after his final battle with He-Man. The second had Julie and Kevin, played by Courtney Cox and Robert Duncan McNeil respectively, not return to Earth but stay on Eternia. The third, which was used for the comic book adaptation and it was intended to be filmed, but it never was, after the final battle with He-Man and Skeletor, Man-at-Arms returns from the depths of Castle Grayskull carrying a NASA flag and a United States flag. On the NASA flag, it reads Starfinder 5, July 10, 2221, revealing that the first humans on Eternia were actually from a future American space mission. So that's all we have for Masters of the Universe, but don't worry, we're going to stay along the same lines of adaptations, because next time is going to be a video game adaptation. Can you guess which one? If you want to have a guess, leave it in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about these fun facts. Do you have any? Or do you have any fun facts about the cartoon or even the toy line? Give us a like, give us a share, check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and we will see you very soon for more random trivia.